Hi everyone, welcome to your daily sadhana. My name is Hannah and I'm happy to be back in this space. Today we'll move a bit slower on our mat and you can expect a lot of heart opening poses and slower movement and efforts to work into like the nooks and crannies of our body. I think it is becoming more noticeable in my own personal practice that I hold a lot of physical tension in my body when I become stressed out or when I'm holding on to a lot of different things in life. And, life gets really busy sometimes and it can become overwhelming, and that can manifest as tension and tightness in our physical bodies if we don't work to free up space and to let it out and to soften and to stretch. So while we're on the mat today, we'll do a lot of heart opening poses just to kind of get used to that sensation of leading with our hearts. I think that's really important right now, to lead with our hearts, to make authentic connections, to speak our truth, and that comes from here, right? So you'll notice a lot of heart opening poses, and if you'd like to use any props, I would recommend 2 blocks. You can also use anything lying around the house that will serve as blocks, like big books or pillows or really anything. Get creative with it if needed. Let's start lying on our back in Supta Konasana. So you can recline down onto your back and bring the soles of your feet together to touch. Widen your knees out towards the long edges of your space and recline down onto your back. And then take a moment to adjust around in this shape. So you're never stuck anywhere on your mat. It's a great place to feel like you have the freedom to move and to fidget and to adjust. So when you land in Supta Konasana, if you notice that there's some tightness in your hips or your low back, just adjust your legs around, maybe windshield wiper the knees from side to side to create longer spine. Maybe you crawl your feet further away from your hips. And once your low body is settled and still, draw some awareness to your upper body. If it feels like your shoulders are kind of shrugged up towards your ears, crawl your shoulders down away from your ears. Notice the breath flowing in through the nose and out through your mouth. Maybe put your hands on your body. That's kind of my go-to because it helps me feel more connected with myself, more present with myself. So feel free to bring your hands over your belly, maybe one hand over your heart, one hand over your belly. And if you'd like to feel like you're receiving a little more, you can bring your hands to face up by your sides. And then shut your eyes or settle your gaze on something above you. Be here now. Pause in stillness. Breathe deeply. Rather than holding your breath or forcing it in, forcing it out, just notice where it sits right now. Notice the depth of your breath, the pace of your breath, the temperature of it flowing in and out. Maybe you start to notice things slowing down. Maybe you start to notice where your body feels heavy, tight, tense. And rather than telling yourself things like, wow, I'm not flexible enough, or I'm not good at this, maybe we offer up the idea that we've been overwhelmed, we've been busy, we've been carrying a lot of heavy things, and we can expect our bodies to feel a little tense, a little tight, a little clunky, if you will. It's okay if you notice there's a lot of discomfort here. You can always move, you can always adjust to be more comfortable. And let that theme be at the forefront of your practice today. Maybe even at the forefront of your whole day, that when things feel heavy, when things feel hard, when things feel tense, when things feel uncomfortable, rather than telling yourself negative thoughts like, I'm not good at this, I can't do this isn't for me, find a sense of curiosity, find a sense of questioning, challenging, and determine ways that you can make yourself more comfortable, that you can tap into your heart space to find grace and compassion for you and then everyone else around you. Take an inhale through your nose, fill your belly up, expand. Open mouth, exhale. Let it go. We'll take 2 more rounds like that. Breathe in. Heavy exhale. Create sound and vibration with your breath in through your nose. Exhale, let it go. Bring your hands outside of your knees, draw your knees together to touch. Tuck your knees into your chest, and then wrap your arms around the back of your knees so that your knees can cave in towards your belly. Gently rock from side to side on your lower back. Massage out any tension, any kinks. Keep breathing here. And once you feel ready to do so, you can begin to rock and roll back and forth the length of your spine. Get a little back massage in, rock about 3 or 4 times. And then when you're ready, once you've gained the momentum, you can cross your ankles, plant your hands in front of you, make your way to tabletop, hands and knees. In tabletop, flow through a few rounds of cat-cow. So inhale, cow pose, drop your belly low to the ground. Lift through your heart, lift through your chest. Draw your shoulders back down to broaden across your heart space just a little more. And then even stretch out your throat, draw your chin away from your chest. Take 1 more breath in. Exhale, cat, round through your spine. Slowly dome your back up towards the sky or the ceiling. Push into your hands and extend your arms long. The eyes of your elbows press forward. Inhale, cow pose. Drop your belly, lift your gaze. Exhale, cat, round your spine. Push the ground away from you. Start to wag your hips around side to side. Gentle movement here. And again, be really gentle, soft and kind and tender with your body this morning. Soft and kind with your mind this morning. It's okay if things feel tight. It's okay if things are hard. We're here to take what we need, to be gentle, to be compassionate. Let's move into thread the needle with a little variation in the legs. So on your breath in, extend your left arm high, gaze up to your left hand, circle out your left wrist a few times, and exhale, thread the needle, send your left arm underneath your right shoulder. Lower your left ear down to the ground and crawl your right hand forward. From here, notice your hips are stacked over your knees. And maybe if it feels good for you, you can extend your right leg long off the side of your mat. Flatten your right foot down onto the ground. And press more weight into your left shoulder head to stretch out through your upper back. You may choose to stay right here, or feel free to add in a half bind with your right hand. Bring your right hand to your lower back. Draw your right shoulder behind you and breathe wherever you are. In through your nose, out through your nose. Unwind the bind in your right hand if you took it. Plant your right hand underneath your right shoulder. If your right leg is extended, draw your right knee to touch your left. Inhale, lift your left arm high over your head. Unwind your spine. And exhale, downward facing dog. Or tabletop rather, not downward facing dog quite yet. And let's switch sides. So on your breath in, extend your right arm high. Gaze up to it. Take a few circles through your right hand, your right wrist. Breathe in, fill up. Exhale, thread the needle. Thread your right arm underneath your left shoulder. Lower your right ear down to the ground. And then extend your left arm long out in front of you. Take a moment to notice the sensation on this side. So it might be different. It might need something different than the other side. If you'd like to, you can go ahead and extend your left leg long off to the side of your space. Flatten your foot down. Lean more weight towards your right shin to open through the left inner thigh, the left hip. And maybe you stay right here for more balance, or if you'd like to challenge your balance, feel free to bring your left arm towards your low back for a half bind. And again, breathe here. In through your nose. Out through your nose. If you took a bind, unwind, plant your left hand underneath your left shoulder. Crawl your left knee to meet your right. Inhale, lift your right arm high over your head. And exhale, tabletop, plant your right hand down. Flip your toes, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Now, I oftentimes encourage a bend into our knees for downward facing dog. I'm still doing that here, and in fact, inviting you to really try that on. Try on taking a deep bend into your knees. Notice how that alleviates tension in your spine. Notice how it might create a little more heart expansion as you press your chest towards your thighs. Allow the crown of your head to hang heavy. And from here, begin to pedal your feet from side to side a few times. Lower one heel, then the other down to the ground. Keep breathing the whole time. Breath is our guide. Breath helps us to notice. Breath helps us to be aware. It helps us to really notice what is feeling tight, where we need to direct our breath, our focus. Inhale through your nose. Open mouth, exhale, sigh it out. From your downward facing dog, on your next inhale, look at your feet. So look to the back of your mat. And exhale, crawl your hands back towards your toes. Forward fold at the back of your mat. Walk your feet hips width distance apart. Bend your knees a lot. Grab opposite elbows. Take ragdoll variation. And just let your upper body be really heavy right here. We stand tall. We sit tall. And that's great, right? It allows us to do the things that we need to do. But this forward fold can help to counteract any tension that we've built up in our spines from constantly being upright. And so really invite relaxation and softening into your upper body
It'll help to bend your knees more if you feel like that's inaccessible. Shake your head yes and no, maybe sway your upper body from side to side. And then inhale. Exhale, release your bind, lower your hands down to the ground, toe heel your feet so they're about hips width distance or maybe a little closer together. And then from here, tuck your chin to your chest, slowly unroll your spine, one vertebra at a time. Rise all the way up to standing, head stacks over your shoulders. Bring your hands together at your heart center for Anjali Mudra. And little moment here, little moment to check in, to notice your breath, to notice your energy level. Take an inhale through your nose. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. Release your bind, inhale, reach your arms over your head, Urdhva. Pivot your palms to face in towards one another. And then lift your gaze up. Press your hip points forward slightly to activate through your core. Breathe in, lift a little higher. And exhale, let your arms fall down to your sides. Cross your wrists at the bottom. Inhale, sweep your arms high over your head once again. Exhale, this time bend into your knees, cross your hands at the bottom. Press down through your feet, inhale, reach high. Exhale, bend and release your arms. We'll kind of take this back and forth movement a few times. Really get heavy as you lower down, and then inhale, get long, get strong. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. We'll take it 2 more times. Think about clearing out space in your heart, in your front line, in your low back, in your hips. 1 more time here. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Once you lift, pivot your hands so that your knuckles face in towards one another. And connect your knuckles together, the backs of your hands. Notice the strength building up in your forearms. Squeeze the backs of your hands together just a little bit more. Breathe in here. Exhale, forward fold. Bring your hands to your heart center, hinge at your hips. Once you're in your forward fold, take a halfway lift. Plant your hands to your shins. Hug your shoulders down your spine. Press your tailbone back to the back of your space. And draw the crown of your head forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana, let it go. Inhale, rise up, sweep your arms over your head, lift your gaze. Exhale, forward fold, release. Inhale, halfway lift, fill your belly up, reset your spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, right root to rise, extend your arms high. Exhale, forward fold, lower down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. On your breath in, crawl your hands out. High plank pose or tabletop position. And exhale, lower all the way down onto your belly. Once you're on your belly, let's take Sphinx pose. Bring your elbows underneath your shoulders so you're propped up on your forearms. And I like personally to widen my feet a little bit to create some space. Press down through your hands, and then with your elbows pressed into the mat, energetically draw them back to lift your bottom ribs away from the ground. Keep your shoulders relaxed away from your ears. Notice the lightness through the crown of your head. Take an inhale here. Exhale, dip your right ear towards your right shoulder. Inhale, come through center. Exhale, dip left ear to left shoulder. And we'll incorporate some neck circles here. Come through center, inhale. Exhale, circle all the way around towards the right. Inhale through center. Exhale, circle to the left. 1 more time on each side. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Restack your head over your shoulders. Take one more inhale. And exhale, lower back down. Rest your head, your forehead onto the back of your right hand. Elbows go wide. Take an inhale. Exhale, clear it out. Plant your hands underneath your shoulders. Press up to tabletop or high plank pose. Inhale, lift. Exhale, downward facing dog. Send your hips up and back. In your downward facing dog, lift your right leg high. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend your right knee, open your hip. While you're here, notice that your hands are gripping the mat. So dig down through your finger pads and your knuckles, and then use that leverage to press your right knee a little higher. Inhale, three-legged dog. Re-extend your right leg high. And exhale to lizard lunge. Step your right foot to the outside of your right hand. Lower your left knee down to the ground. This is where you might invite some props into your practice to help support you. I'm going to bring my hands onto the medium height of my blocks because this is going to be a heart-opening variation of lizard lunge. So rather than lowering down to your forearms, try on lifting up through your chest. Prop yourself up. Shoulders draw down away from your ears, and maybe even pull your chin away from your chest. Breathe into that space right behind your chest. Exhale. On your next inhale, lift your right arm high, twist. Keep your left hand planted down and press down through your right foot to get a little more active through your legs so that your right knee starts to stack over your right ankle. Lift your gaze towards your right hand. Roll your right shoulder back to stack over your left. One more inhale. Exhale, half splits. Bring your hand down to your block or your mat. Lengthen through your right foot, fold forward. Now your right foot can stay on the outside of your right hand, so it's kind of a wide half split. And then from here, lengthen your spine forward on your inhale, and exhale, tuck your chin to your chest. Take a pause. Remember to tune inward, to turn inward. If we go through life constantly with an open heart, sometimes it becomes a little bit overwhelming. It becomes like kind of draining, and that's not what we want, right? So it's always important to retreat back into your own space to kind of protect your heart for just a moment, close off, recharge, and then we come back forward to an open heart. Lizard lunge, press into your hands wherever there are on the blocks or on your mat. Lift up through your chest, take an inhale. And exhale, go ahead and lift your back knee off of the mat. Crawl your right hand in between your wrists for a low lunge. Once you've found low lunge, make sure that your right knee is stacked on top of your right ankle. And inhale up to high crescent lunge. Reach your arms over your head. Again, pivot your hands so the back of your palms connect. Hug the backs of your hands together right above your head, but work to soften your shoulders away from your ears. Take an inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, circle your hands down by your sides. Spread your palms wide, maybe invite a little back bend in. I always like to soften my back knee to take some tension out of my low back. On your breath in, lean forward, sweep your arms high over your head, back of your palms touch. Exhale, take a chest expansion, bring your hands down by your sides, pull your chin away from your chest. Let's take this 2 more times. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, back of the hands touch, then bring your hands by your sides, expand your chest. Inhale, reach forward, then high. Exhale, soften your knee down, lift your heart space. Inhale, high crescent lunge, press into your feet. Exhale, warrior two. Spin your left foot down to the ground, bend into your right knee. Send your gaze past your right hand. On your breath in, take reverse triangle. Lift up through your side body. Straighten through your right leg. Option even to lift your right toes away from the mat. Dig down through your feet. Breath in. And exhale, back to low lunge. Bring your hands down to frame at your right toes. Breathe in, come to grounded warrior 3. Lift your left heel in line with your left hip. I like to invite props back into my practice right here to bring the ground a little closer. And then think of lengthening your spine forward, just like we did in halfway lift. So draw your shoulders back and down. Stamp your back foot on the back wall behind you so that you get really long through your whole body. Take an inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Soften your left foot to meet your right. Hinge at your hips. Bend your knees. Press down through your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms over your head, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold, release. Inhale, halfway lift, create length in your spine. And exhale, make your way to downward facing dog. You can take a chaturanga, high to low plank, or you can join me in simply pressing your hips back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Let that sequence land for just a moment on the right side. Notice what thoughts came up. And then let's clear out some space to lead with an open heart on this next side, just as much as we did on the first side. So breathe in through your nose. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. All right, let's get ready for the left side. On your breath in, lift your left leg high, three-legged dog. And exhale, bend your left knee, open your hip. Once again, press down through your hands so that you have the leverage to lengthen your left knee a little higher. Draw your left heel close to your right glute, your right outer hip. Inhale, back up to three-legged dog. Lengthen through your left leg. As you exhale, step your left foot to the outside of your left hand for lizard lunge. Lower your back knee down to the ground. And again, feel free to invite some props into your space. Lift up through your chest. Bring your hands onto blocks, books. If you don't have any props, you can always bring your hand onto the top of your left quad. And then draw your chin away from your chest. Lift up through your gaze. Take an inhale and an exhale. Keep your right hand planted. Start to open your left arm high. Twist open towards the left side of your space. Roll your left shoulder back. Right shoulder tucks forward. And press down through your left foot just a little bit more to get active through your legs. Gaze is up towards the ceiling. Take a big breath in. And exhale, replant your left hand down. Find half splits, Ardha Hanumanasana. Keep your left leg on the outside of your hand. Lengthen your spine forward and then retreat. Tuck chin to chest, round your spine. Close off your heart for just a moment. This is the space where we do it. This is the space where we retreat, where we take time and space for ourselves in order to go out into the world with an open heart. Breathe here. Come back forward. And then inhale, press into your hands. Exhale, lift off of your back knee. Start to crawl your left foot in between your hands for low lunge. Bring your hands to your blocks. Inhale to grounded warrior 3. Lower your right toes down. Find high crescent lunge. Take a breath in, lift up high. Stack your left knee over your left ankle. Spike your right heel up towards the sky. Relax your shoulders and then go ahead and bring the backs of your hands to touch again. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, release your hands down by your sides. Soften your back knee, gazes up. Inhale, reach forward, then up. Exhale, chest expansion. Inhale, come forward, lift. Exhale, release your hands, relax your shoulders. One more time here, breathe in and lift. Exhale, release. Inhale to crescent lunge. Sweep your arms over your head. Exhale, warrior two. Open out to face the right side of your mat. Pivot your right toes to face the side and bend into your left knee. When you're ready, find reverse triangle. Press down through both feet. Straighten your left leg. Lengthen your left arm high. Maybe gaze up towards the ceiling. Breathe in. And exhale, low lunge. Bring your hands to frame your left foot. Let's take warrior three again. Inhale, lengthen forward. Press your right foot to the back of your space. Hug your shoulders down your back. Belly button pulls in towards your spine. Breathe in, get a little longer. Exhale, forward fold, release. Inhale, rise and reach. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, option for high to low plank or downward facing dog. Step it back. We'll take this breath to movement 2 times on each side, and then we'll stretch things out a bit. We'll soften a little more before we move on with our day. So inhale, 3-legged dog, lengthen your right leg high. Exhale, lizard lunge. Step your right foot outside of your right hand, back knee drops. Keep your left palm grounded. Inhale, twist open towards the right. Exhale, circle your right hand all the way around. Half splits. Straighten-ish through your right leg. Fold forward. Inhale, back to lizard lunge. Exhale, crawl your right foot between your hands. Low lunge, lift off of your back knee. Rise up to high crescent Anjaneyasana. Connect the back of your hands. Inhale. Exhale, chest expansion. Inhale, reach forward. Maybe straighten your right leg a little bit. Exhale, double lunge, lift your chest. One more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release your hands. Inhale, come up to crescent. Exhale, warrior two, reach your arms wide. Inhale, reverse triangle. Right leg straightens and reaches back. Exhale, bring your hands down to the ground. Low lunge, come high to the ball of your back toes. Find grounded warrior three, lengthen forward, inhale. Exhale, forward fold, release and soften. Inhale, mountain, reach high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, make your way to downward facing dog. Step your feet back, flow it out. Breathe here for just a moment in through your nose. And let it go. Inhale, 3-legged dog, lengthen your left leg high. Exhale, lizard lunge, step your left foot outside of your left hand, lower your back knee down. Keep your right palm grounded. Inhale, twist open, lift your left arm high. Exhale, circle it around, meet in half splits, Ardha Hanumanasana, shift forward, straighten your left leg. Inhale, back to your lizard lunge. Exhale, low lunge, lift off of the back knee. Inhale, high crescent, scoop your arms high, connect the back of your hands. Exhale, hands fall to your sides, chest lifts. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, heart opens. One more time, breathe in and lift. And exhale, soften. Inhale to crescent, sweep your arms high. Exhale, warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. Inhale, reverse triangle, reach it back. Exhale, low lunge, hands frame your left foot. Lengthen forward, grounded warrior three, breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise, reach high. Exhale, fold, let it go. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, downward facing dog, step, hop, flow, your choice. Once more on each side. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, lizard lunge, come back to this moment. Inhale, twist open, right arm lifts. Exhale, half splits. Come forward, lizard lunge, breathe in. Exhale, crawl it to the center, low lunge. Inhale, crescent, rise. Only one time here. Exhale, expand your heart, drop your hands by your sides. Inhale, crescent lunge, arms sweep high. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse triangle, lengthen back. Exhale, low lunge, hands frame your right foot. Grounded warrior three, take an inhale. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, sweep your arms high. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Step it back, flow it back. Left leg high, breathe in. Exhale, lizard lunge. Inhale, twist open, be here now. Exhale, half splits. Lizard lunge, take an inhale. Exhale, crawl to center, low lunge. Inhale, crescent, Anjaneyasana, rise up. Exhale, chest expand, soften your back knee down. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse triangle, lift up, lengthen. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, grounded warrior three, get long. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise. Sweep high. Exhale, forward fold. Listen for the change here. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, crawl your feet wide to the outer corners of your mat. Sit your hips back and down. Malasana Yogi Squat. Now, for some reason, it always helps me to hold on to something here. I feel like it helps keep my weight forward so that I'm not inclined to fall back. So if that helps you, you can hold on to anything at your chest. Keep your feet flat down on the mat and then start to sway from side to side a bit, work into your hips. I know that for me personally and a lot of other humans that I've spoken to, we tend to carry a lot of tension in our hips. And so it might feel uncomfortable, it might feel pretty intense. If that is the case, you can always take butterfly instead or Supta Baddha Konasana, where we started class on your back. Let's take 2 rounds of breath here. In through your nose. Out through your nose. In through your nose. Out through your nose. Slowly lower your hips down to the ground. Find a seated position. And once you're seated, we'll take 90-90 or half pigeon, your choice. So for 90-90, you'll bring your right shin in line with the top of your mat, and then your left shin crawls back in line with the long part of your mat. Shift your hips off to the right side. For half pigeon, bring your hips to the center so your weight is centered, and then lengthen your left leg behind you. It's a bit more of an intense hip stretch for me. Also works into your left hip flexor. So you choose what you prefer. And that's the beautiful thing about yoga, about the yoga practice, is there's always so many options. There's always so many choices that we can make. Whatever shape you're in, go ahead and fold forward over your right shin. And having a choice can sometimes feel overwhelming. If you feel like you don't know what the choices are, if you feel like you haven't really been able to make a choice before, it can feel daunting, just knowing that there's multiple options that exist out there. It's okay. It's a beautiful privilege to have a choice. It's a beautiful privilege to be able to decide on your mat what works best for you. And took me a while to get there, to realize that, because I used to just try and force myself into the deepest variation of a pose. I would really force my body into a shape, and I would leave class feeling kind of sore. I would also feel kind of like grumpy because I was making my body uncomfortable. I wasn't being kind and patient with my body. And so nowadays, it's really important that I do make the choice of what hip stretch to take or what position to start class in. The beauty of being at home is that like you really can just take whatever shape you need. Know that it's not the wrong answer. There's not really a right or wrong in our yoga practice as long as we're moving with kindness, compassion from our hearts. 2 more rounds of breath here. Wherever you landed, whatever you decided, whatever you chose. Start to lift your chest and switch sides. Half pigeon or deer 90-90 on the left. So again, for 90-90, bring your left shin in line with the short side of your mat. Right shin comes in line with the long side, and your hips are off to the left. If you want to take half pigeon, you'll square your hips, so press into your hands and shift your hips to the center. Lengthen your right leg behind you. And then you can fold forward over your left leg, whatever you choose. I like to bring blocks or pillows underneath my forehead. That helps me to let go a little bit more. Breathe here. If at any point your mind begins to wander away from what you're doing, bring your breath to the forefront. Hear the sound of your breath. Notice the sensation of your breath. It takes a lot of effort to find ease. It takes a lot of effort to find peace. It takes a lot of courage to feel. Know that you're doing the work here. I'm so proud of you. I'm so glad that you're here. Truly, truly, truly. 2 more rounds of breath wherever you are. Lift away from the ground. Circle both legs out in front of you. Give your legs a nice little shake. And then lower down onto your back. Once you're on your back, let's take 2 rounds of bridge pose. So walk your heels towards your hips. Bring your hands down by your sides. Press down through feet and hands. Inhale, bridge, Setu Bandhasana. Lift your hips away from the mat. Push your hip points towards the ceiling or the sky. And crawl your shoulders away from your ears. Maybe bind your hands around your ankles or bind your hands at your low back. We stay lifted for 3, 2, 1. Exhale. Lower back down. Supta Baddha Konasana. Connect the soles of your feet together. Knees go wide. Take 2 breaths. One more. Flatten your feet to the mat. Crawl your heels towards your glutes. Bring your hands by your sides. Inhale, bridge pose. Press down to lift your hips. And this time you can hug your shoulders together down your back to open your heart more. Tuck your chin slightly to create length along the back of your neck. We hold it here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower back down. Knock your knees together, broken bridge pose, and gently sway your knees from side to side. Meet me in a supine twist to the left. Let your knees fall over to the left side of your mat. Tee out your right hand, maybe your left, and then gaze past your right fingertips. Relax your upper body. Slow down your breath. My friends, I know it is a challenge to be still. I know it's a challenge to move slowly, to rest. I know it's a challenge. It's not something that we're given the opportunity to do very often. It's not something that we're encouraged to do very often. So it makes sense if this feels daunting, if this feels uncomfortable, but trust that your body needs it. No matter what you've done, your body needs rest. Your body deserves rest. Please challenge yourself to stay right here for one more round of breath. And then with as little effort as possible, bring your knees back through center. Gently allow them to cascade over to the right side, supine twist to the right. Settle your gaze past your left shoulder. And yeah, back to that idea of it's hard to find rest, it's hard to be tender with ourselves, to be soft with ourselves, especially if we spend a lot of our time in places that requires you to be on. When I first started this journey of softening, of resting, it actually stemmed from an injury that forced me into it. I couldn't walk. I had to rest. And it wasn't easy. But now I crave rest. And I think a lot of times if we don't slow down, if we don't rest, the universe will kind of force us into it. So while you can choose to rest, I invite you to do so. Bring your knees back through center. Give yourself a gentle squeeze. Hug your knees into your chest. Take a big breath in. And exhale, sprawl out onto your mat. Lay on your back, palms face up by your sides. Soak up your practice. Soak up the rest. Invite relaxation in from the crown of your head, down to your forehead, your cheeks, into your chest, your heart, down your arms, your belly, your hips, into your legs, all the way down to the soles of your feet. Allow your body to feel heavy and weightless all at the same time. If you have the time to stay, please do. I'll leave you here on your back. Know that this next 5, 2, 3, 10 minutes, however long you choose to lay here, is such a small amount of time in the grand scheme of things, even though it might seem like it'll set you back or set you off course. Know that this amount of time is so teeny tiny. You can stay, you can rest. Thank you so much for joining me on your mat today. It's always a pleasure being here, sharing with you. Remember to be kind to yourself. Remember to feel, to be still, to rest. I wish you peace and blessings this season, and I will see you next time.
Thank you very much. Stay as long as you can.